don't put the camera on me. I saw myself on that TV camera, and I don't ever want to be on camera. I'm Johanna Hesick, and I'm the Vice President of the Sterling Society. And the Sterling Society is the sponsor of Coffee and Conversation. We do this the second Thursday of every month. And I'm delighted to see so many people here with all the Christmas activities that are going on. And people are not here. Many of the people who are regularly in Florida go up north to spend time with family and all. But glad to have you here. The Sterling Society is a fundraising and friend-raising group, and we provide a lot of things. For example, we bought all these chairs for the Arts Center, and we have some wonderful activities. Just yesterday we had a cookie exchange, and we brought some cookies and ate some cookies, and then came home with a whole big tray full of cookies. But besides that, we had I don't know how many of you remember Alan's Florist. Well, Alan came and he was going to do a big wreath for us. Well, not only did he do the wreath, he did a door swag. He made 2 centerpieces. He came with them pretty much prepared, but then he added things to it, told us how you could make them out of things from his own backyard. That's what he used. So he told us how you could do that, and then we auctioned them off. And that was wonderful. We had the Ambassadors of Sound. They were a young group of high school students who, from Pinellas County and from Hillsborough County. And they just came and they sang for us. We had a story of Hanukkah. So it was a really nice program. The next thing we're going to do is a bus tour to Fort Myers. That's going to be next week. I believe it's next Thursday. If not, we'll find out exactly. If you wanted to go, it's going to leave here around noon, and we're going to go down to Fort Myers to the Henry Ford and Thomas Edison Estate and see their Christmas festivities and have food there. And it's a very special tour for us, kind of a behind-the-scene tour. But in February is our big fundraiser, and that's called Founders Day. And we always honor a patron of the arts. We also honor somebody who had something to do with the Art Center. The first ones we honored were the people who had the idea to build this. And this year we are honoring the donors who have donated money to this edition, the edition before that, and so we always try to find a significant group to honor. That's some of the things that the Sterling Society does. But we also do this coffee and conversation. For some of you who have been here often, and we have one of our speakers who's here too, we have had many people many artists who are teachers here, as well as people who are from the outside, not necessarily connected with teaching. January 12th, that will be again a second Thursday, Joseph Weinzettel will be here. And every person that talks about their art says that you have to have a basic knowledge of drawing first. And that's what he teaches. And we've never had a speaker here who's just gone right back to the very basics. So we're going to hear from Joseph in January. February 9 will be Mitch Colby. He's a plein air artist. He's also a sculptor. He is the one who did a sculpture of the sponge diver that is in Tarpon Springs. So he's going to be here in February. March will be Elizabeth Coachman, and she does etchings and mezzotints. She has been teaching here. She's not teaching here right now, but she has been here. We have another really brilliant artist who uses natural colors, natural dyes, natural items that she has found. And I'm not going to take any of that away from her because she's going to be able to explain it a lot better than I am. But she uses local vegetation. But not only being a fiber artist, Bonnie Bowman has also worked in clay. Are you going to have any slides of that? Mostly you're going to do
We're
fiber.
going to stay with the fiber.
Okay. So she's versatile. And her ceramic works have been sold on the international market. So, we're going to see another side of her, but she also loves to teach. This is Bonnie Bowman.
Okay. Can you all hear me fine with you?
Yes.
Okay. Can I leave this off? Thank you. Thank you, Dan. My disclaimer, I'm a basket maker and fiber artist, not a public speaker, so bear with me with my cheat notes. But I do want to thank you for being here, and I would like to say that I really have been having a ball teaching with Dunedin for the last couple of years, and just
You know what, you might want to put that on.
Okay.
I'm just standing over here.
Okay. Okay. Is that better? All right. I will wear the mic. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm having a ball teaching here, and I just really love being a part of this. I've never been in such a supportive community as the Dunedin Fine Arts Center. It's been great. Today I've been asked to talk to you about basketry. And as you know now, I also work in several other mediums. I'm really a weaver, and I work with textiles and dyeing and ceramics to some extent. And I guess what I have to say is, these medias has led me in a lot of different directions along the way, but the one thing that's remained constant with me is my process, and it doesn't matter what medium I'm working in, and that's what I'd like to talk to you more about today. I think my process began with when I was very young as a child. I always loved being out in nature and just observing processes and little small miracles, and the other thing is, for some reason, I knew at a very young age, or I believed that I had the belief, I think, that drawing and painting and just making stuff for me was more than a fun activity. It was something I needed to do. Just my very survival. And if you had met or known my parents, you would see that it wasn't a stretch for me to come to that conclusion. My father was raised in the Appalachian Mountains of Kentucky, and let me see, what's the different pictures on? That's not Appalachia, that's Florida. That's the place of my childhood, what it looked like here when I was growing up. But anyway, he was raised in the Appalachian Mountains, and he had he was brought up to have a very strong reverence for nature and knowledge of nature, and that was because his family really relied on hunting and identifying edible plants, and there were quite a few plants they used for medicinal and even personal hygiene. One of my fondest memories of him was frequently we'd be in his own garden or walking through the woods, and he'd pull off a stick or break a twig off a tree or dig up a little root and start munching. He'd go, "This is really good to eat," or "This one's good for your tummy." Or the one I remember most was chewing the end of a twig, and this is a really good toothbrush. It has silica or something, and it makes its own toothpaste. And he had all his teeth, by the way, when he passed away, so I guess it worked. And then there was always the camping expeditions that he insisted on taking the family, where he took us in the wilderness and shared his stories with us. My mother, on the other hand, she, even though she was raised on a farm and had her own survival skills, She viewed